今日は英語修理店のエピソードです。英語を勉強している日本人が英語の間違いを正してくれないかと尋ねました。これを実際の会話英語で行ってみます。
皆さんこんにちは。毎日少しずつ社交に使える英語の上達を目指すソーシャルイングリッシュポッドキャストへようこそ。今日はぜひもっと自信を持って英会話してみましょう。 Are you ready, Percy? Let's go!
Yes, thank you for that introduction, Hikari. I am ready. I am so ready, pumped up, and happy to give everyone here another episode of the Social English Podcast. Yokso, welcome. Welcome to the podcast. And if you are new here, I want you to enjoy all of the episodes that we have available for you on this platform. If it's Apple, Google, Stitcher, you can always go back and listen to other episodes. And today, I want to tell you a little bit about today's episode. It is an English repair shop episode. So all levels of English are welcome. You should have no problem with this episode. Just listen, kite kudasai, and you should have no problem. Today's topic, we are going to talk about rice. We're going to talk about rice because you are trying to explain some Japanese culture to someone in English, and you're going to tell them about rice and some philosophy with it. So that is what we're going to talk about today. But first, I want you to get in your social English mode. All right. And the way we're going to do that is I'm going to have my friend here, Sora, introduce to you today's topic in Japanese. Please listen, kite kudasai.
気楽にアメリカ人の友人であるパーシーを招いて落ち着いた雰囲気の中でお気に入りのカフェに座りながら英語を練習して上達しようとしているとします。これからパーシーが今日のトピックについて話しますのでリラックスして聞いてください。
The country, America. The city, Austin, Texas. The cafe, Houndstooth Coffee. You can hear all of these sounds around us as we are sitting down together, about to enjoy a cup of coffee. Houndstooth Coffee is a very popular coffee bar cafe in Austin, which is why we decided to meet, because we are going to practice our social English today. I am your friend Percy, who you have invited to this particular coffee bar cafe because I'm an American, I live here, and I am a natural native speaker of English. And you asked me to help you improve your English. So that's what we're going to do today. But I want you to relax, listen to the sounds, and close your eyes and think about just us talking about English in a comfortable, relaxed environment. All right? Okay, so let's get started. today's episode of the Social English Podcast is a beginner, intermediate, or advanced level, which means all levels should enjoy this episode. And this is an episode that features an English repair shop where a Japanese person, a real Japanese person, asked me to fix their English, and I will fix their English in the conversational, social English way, not the written, grammar-heavy English like I'm writing a book or an article or a blog. This is not the English that we're talking about. We're talking about real social English, real spoken everyday English. That is what you're going to learn by listening to this podcast. Okay, so how will we do that? There will be four parts. Part one, I will read the wrong English. Listen carefully to this part. I will read the wrong English. Part two, I will give you the correct social English version of what the Japanese person was saying in correct English. And then part three, I will give you some advice or any little phrases or common, real, everyday English, and I'll explain why it was used. Part four, I will say the correct English in normal speed or fast English, normal speed, so you can hear what it would sound like in real life. Okay? And that way you can listen to it over and over. Once again, if you are a beginner, then please play this at half speed, 0.5 speed, so that you can really understand it if it's too difficult. Okay? All right. Please listen to the first part. This is the part one of this. Okay, so part one. This is the wrong English. Harvest rice. The boughs that bear most hang lowest. Once again, harvest rice. The boughs that bear most hang lowest. Okay. The situation is you want to explain in English to a native English speaker about a certain Japanese culture or sayings, and this is one of them. So let's correct this. But first, I want to ask you, the listener, how would you say this? I want you to think to yourself and just say, just right now, how would you say this? Let me say the wrong English one more time and think to yourself, how would you say this correctly? Harvest rice, the boughs that bear most hang lowest. So remember, this is an English repair shop. So we're going to fix this English in part two. Okay, so part two, let's fix that. Let's do it right now. During rice harvesting time, the reeds that have the most rice will hang lower than the others. During rice harvesting time, the reeds that have the most rice will hang lower than the others. Okay. This is a clearer version. It's very clear what is being said so that the listener understands exactly what you are talking about. It's a little bit confusing in the first the wrong English version way. It's confusing to the English speaking listener. Okay, so this is part 3. Part 3. Let's talk about some of these changes. Harvest rice from the first sentence was changed to during rice harvesting time. This is clear. I understand. Your English speaking friends or an English speaking person will understand. Number 2. The boughs that bear most hang lowest. So, the thing about this is we talked about rice, but we didn't clearly talk about the rice in its natural state. So growing rice. So we didn't really talk about the growing rice, which is why in the correct English version you will hear the word rice used, so it's clearly understood what we're talking about. The reeds that have the most rice will hang lower than the others. With the most that have the most rice will hang lower. Will hang lower. It's more of it's visual, kind of a visual English. When we say hang lower, you could say hang lowest, but it is not correct, and it also sounds strange to an English speaker. So we want to say, even though yes, it is lowest, if we say lower than the others, it is very clear in our mind what you are saying. So that is my advice in part 3, and that is some of the things that we're talking about, how to speak English so that the listener can clearly understand what you are saying. Okay, now let's do part 4. Part 4. Okay, this is the correct English in normal English or fast English speed. Please listen, kite kudasai. During rice harvesting time, the reeds that have the most rice will hang lower than the rest. During rice harvesting time, the reeds that have the most rice will hang lower than the rest. Okay. So that's that. You want to use the phrase lower than the rest when you speak about this, and you want to make it clear to the listener exactly what you are talking about. And that's how we speak in social English. Clear, conversational English that clearly makes it easy for the English listener or the person listening to you in English to understand. That's social English.
このショーを気に入っていただけたら、5つ星のレビューをぜひお願いします。コメントは英語か日本語でお書きいただければ喜んで読ませていただきます。realsocialenglish.com にアクセスしてぜひ無料でダウンロードしてください。ほとんどの日本人の英語を勉強している人がやってしまいがちな7つの間違いとその正しい言い方。また、毎日英語を上達させるのに役立つ資料もたくさんあります。Apple Podcast、Google Podcast、Stitcher、そして今はパンドラでもポッドキャストを購読いただきます。支援者になっていただけませんか？私たちがこのショーを作るための支援として$5の寄付をお願いできませんか？今後のエピソードで感謝の気持ちをお伝えします。また、そこでしか利用できない新しいコンテンツも入手できます。patreon.com/socialenglish からご参加ください。ソーシャルメディアで私たちのポッドキャストを友達にシェアしたり、Twitter、Facebook、Instagram のフォローをお願いします。
So that is going to do it for today's English Repair Shop episode of the Social English Podcast. The Boughs That Bear, talking about rice. Okay, so that's going to do it for today. I really enjoyed your time today. Thank you for spending time with me today. It was very good and interesting, and I enjoyed myself. I like to correct other people's English, and I hope everyone, by me correcting one person, you can learn and get better with your social English every single day. All right. So with that being said, you can always send me a message on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and I will definitely respond to your message, as well as I would, if you'd like to have me correct your English, please leave a message. Leave a message on what English you wanted me to correct, that you want to hear, and I can do it for you on this show so that everyone also gets a chance to hear it. And with that being said, it was great having you on the show and listening with me today. And I'll see you next time. Peace and love.
今日は楽しい時間をありがとうございました。ぜひ私たちのウェブサイト realsocialenglish.com を訪問して日本語訳と役立つ情報を手に入れてください。また次回お会いしましょう。バイバイ。See you next time. Bye bye.